Boom. Boom. Live. Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Camp Slash Horrorcast, where we talk horror movies from the past every Monday at 8 p.m. Central. It is not Monday, though. It is Sunday, fun day, at 10 p.m., because we are going to do a special horror highlight. We are going to talk about Scream 5. Everyone in the group here got to see it. So, very nice. Pulling it up already. So, first off, we have Miles. Something about this just feels different. Francis, Miles, how are you doing this evening?
Hey man, it's always the loved one, right? I don't know. I'm not loved, so I'm off the suspect
Recording
list.
in
That's nice.
progress.
Sorry,
I actually have the scary movie version of that mask where like the ghost face is all stoned and like has the tongue hanging out. The was for the dated references.
Very nice. Next, we got Jay. We're all suspects. Don't trust anyone. McClintock. Jay, how are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Excellent, excellent. Finally, we got Will. Do you want to play a game? Sanamo. Will, how are you?
Play a game. That's what I was gonna say.
Want to play
Good,
a
how are
game?
y'all?
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Guys, we watched Scream 5. Release date January 14th, 2022. My birthday. Running time 114 minutes with a budget of 24 million. Box office 84.9 million. This bad boy is making its money back. It is doing very well. Synopsis: 25 years after a streak of brutal murders shocked the quiet town of Woodsboro, California, a new killer dons the Ghostface mask and begins targeting a group of teenagers to resurrect secrets from the town's deadly past. Let's watch a trailer.
Oh, okay.
Share the screen. All right, y'all see it?
There's certain rules to surviving. Believe me, I know. They always come back. The killer is a part of something in the past. This one just feels different.
It is. Fuck me, wow.
Nice quote.
Wait, are we watching the right trailer?
Yeah, I know. I thought it was a fake trailer for a second. 100% terrified.
I've seen this movie before.
Not this movie.
The perfect movie villain. That's debatable. Fresh, brutal, genius. Mind-blowing twist. Did they just show the flamethrower from the fake stab movie?
They sure did, yeah. Dude, is it fucked up that I was like fully planning to come and defend this movie and this trailer's making me not like it as much? Like I feel like they're like overselling it with all these fucking captions.
Only in theaters.
I think it's the final trailer, so they had to put that all out there. All right,
Sure.
guys. Real quick, I want to talk our histories with the Scream series. Starting with you, Miles. What is your history? Scream 1 through 4. Like, kind of, what was your scenario of seeing those?
One of my favorite franchises. I've seen them all in theaters. I even defend the third one, which is really hated and definitely the worst in the franchise, but still has its moments, including a fun cameo by Jay and Silent Bob. And I mean, why wouldn't you want that in your Scream movie? I don't know.
Right.
But I am a passionate fan of both Wes Craven and this franchise. So I was very excited to see this movie.
Right, and you saw everyone, even the first one in theaters?
Even the first one, when I was like,
damn.
what then? I would have been like 11 or 12 years old with, questionable, like parents with questionable, ethics and movie watching for children.
Excellent, excellent. Jay, what's your history with Scream?
I've seen every one of them in the theater except for the fourth one. I saw the first one in the theaters. I was 15, just about to be 16. Saw the second one a year later. Saw the third one and freshman in college. Then the last one I waited to watch on demand. There was enough time. So,
But you
there
are
was
a
plenty of
defender
time.
of Scream 4, whereas I hate Scream 4.
Oh, I
Oh, 'cause-
love Scream 4.
Because I hate Scream 3. I think Scream 3 is utter garbage. And I
I
don't
like
think
it.
I didn't think that Jay and Silent Bob saved it. I think it was like, well, thank God they had something in this movie that's somewhat fun. But for the most part, yeah. Scream 3 being the final one, I was like, yeah, that feels like a third movie.
Yeah.
That felt like a good ending.
I still defend the part of that movie where they do the straight up parody of like the Stab movie being made in like real time. I actually think that's really fun. Admittedly, it completely falls apart in the third act, but like that movie also suffered from it had to be changed to the Columbine. Like
Yeah.
that movie was supposed to be a completely different script, and they had to like, ooh, we can't make it the weird kid from high school who felt like he wasn't part of like the popular circle, and then killed his school, because that feels a little too real now.
They also really took away the gore in the movie too because of that also.
Yeah.
And so that's why you really don't, where this movie brings it back and it's aces. I really liked it. Real quick, Will, what's your history with the Scream series?
History with this mic stand. Kind of the same as Jay, I think. I saw all except for 4 in theaters, but I am a huge fan of all of them. I even like the changes that were done. I understand it's not a gory one, but I don't think Scream has to be. I there's not a single Scream movie that I don't enjoy.
Yeah. For me, I saw Scream 1 on pay-per-view. My uncle rented it when I was like 11 or something like that. Once again, very questionable. I remember sitting back and just being totally enthralled with it. I think it's a perfect horror movie. I really have no issues with Scream 1. And then Scream 2 kind of sucks, and Scream 3 I like, and then Scream 4 sucks, and this one we'll talk about it. So that's kind of my history with it. I did have an interesting thing happen during Scream 3 in the theater where the sound went out for 15 minutes, and I went out and raised holy hell about it, and we got free tickets to another movie, so that was pretty cool.
Nice.
I was
What
like
other
18.
movie?
I was like, what the fuck is going on? What movie? Yeah, I was.
Ducky, it honestly surprises me that you don't care for the 4th one, just because I feel like kind of how there's like that podcasting character named Podcast in the new Ghostbusters movie.
I
I feel like you would be endeared to the aspect of those the film club people in that movie.
I literally remember nothing about the movie. That's how much I disliked it. I need to go
Interesting.
back and revisit it and see how I feel about it. But I just remember the killer reveal being so lame. I was just like, really? Her cousin or niece or whatever is going on? Like, the idea of the celebrity, though, was, I mean, the scripts weren't bad. And this one will kind of get into that, too. This is the requel, you know what I mean? It's a play off that, but the problem with that is it's overdone at this point. They were just a little bit late to the game. But let's get into it. You guys love this movie across the board, right? Everyone kind of Will said that he loved it. Miles said he loved it. Jay,
Yeah.
you didn't state whether you loved it or you were indifferent to it. How do you feel about it?
I feel like there's a lot of things about this movie that worked very well, and there's also plenty of stuff that I know like was totally not for me. Like it was like what I mean by that is like it wasn't made for me. Like I'm 40 now, so it's not like our old guard. They literally passed the old guard in this movie, and so I feel like in that regard, it's like okay, well that's okay. It's okay for me not to like it. But there are a couple of the new characters I absolutely loved. My favorite characters were the twins.
Yeah, the twins.
Yeah,
were
My
awesome.
absolute
for sure.
favorite characters
Yeah.
were the twins.
In the tradition of Randy, who you wanted to survive, his niece and nephew survived. I thought that was
Well,
pretty cool.
Well, if you look at the dichotomy of those characters, they split it up into 2 parts. So the one part's like the very confident jock twin, and the other one's the gay, nerdy female twin. So it's all these different aspects of Randy, but they're also both very Randy-like. Like
Yeah.
even being a jock, he's still kind of nerdy.
He
I don't
didn't
know.
have sex with his girlfriend because he's like, you might be the killer. That's not a jock move.
Those characters had some real depth for me. I really appreciated them. Like, and I mean, we'll talk about the ending later, but yeah, those 2 are probably my favorite. And I liked a couple of the other characters as well.
They definitely ooze charisma, especially when they were screen. The only problem that I had was like they were very beautiful, and I was like they were not the children of that lady. I apologize. Will, what did
Wow.
I apologize? Hey, I'm just joking. I'm just
Well,
joking.
Seriously.
20 minutes.
Yeah, I apologize. Will, what did you like about it specifically? What was the thing that made this movie work for you?
I think it was just it was the way they passed the torch. I think is what really caught me the most, and how like there's plenty of room for more. There's room for modern Scream, and that it's a nice refresh sequel. Yeah, and I don't know what it is. Like I found myself, and this might be, hot take, but I love modern teen horror. Like I think it's great. There's someone in your house, just retread a whole bunch of old stuff, but it was great, and it was just a modern teen horror. The Fear Street trilogy, I loved it.
I love Fear Street.
It's
Loved
just
it too.
all those
Absolutely
things.
loved it.
So this felt like a good modern horror that took an old horror and fixed it. Unlike, I liked the new Halloween, but it still just felt like old Halloween. There's nothing modern about it.
Redundant.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah,
redundance.
redundant. Yeah.
You think that they did pass on the torch? Do you think we're going to get more? Because I felt like this was a finale. I felt like
I
this
think
was
it
the
could
last one.
absolutely be a finale, but the way it's going, like it's making that money, so they're gonna
why?
keep going.
But that's the point. Yeah.
If the knife still cuts, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
No
Good
doubt.
stuff.
Miles, what do you think? What made you love this movie?
Honestly, kind of a combination of what these two just said, but I almost entirely agree, like word for word. Jay minus, we have 4 years, I guess, difference because I'm 36. I absolutely immediately really enjoyed the new cast. So like, yeah, there's like that part of me where it's I'm sad. We're spoiling, right? Like spoilers. can fly.
Absolutely.
Spoiler-
Yeah, yeah.
Away.
Like when they kill Dewey, man, like of course
What?
I'm sad as fuck. But like also like statistically speaking, that dude survived a lot of like Ghostface at this point. Like,
Wasn't he
like
supposed to die in the
eventually
first
people
one?
need to die. And so whereas Jay said he didn't really care about the new younger cast, I actually found myself very much caring about the younger cast. I love the way that the opening scene kind of, gave a modern twist to the classic opening that we're used to. Instead of it being the Drew Barrymore that dies instantly, which was a brilliant move at the time. But this
Absolutely.
time she becomes the final girl or one of them, which, is kind of goes against her own concept of the elevated horror in general. But from the moment that phone call occurred, I was like in this movie 100%. Like I was there.
That was really loud for some reason when you hit your desk. I don't know
Oh,
why.
sorry about
It's
that.
all right.
It's the passion, Ducky. It's the
That's what
passion
it
for this
is.
film.
Bringing the
You know what it
passion.
was? When she said her favorite horror movie was The Babadook, she already I was like, I immediately hate you, die.
Yeah, I did that one. I'll say like I don't love the Babadook. Oh, that's a
Why
weird
don't
choice.
you like
but
the Babadook?
I love the
Oh,
Babadook.
fine.
It was a
It's
great
okay.
movie.
It's one of those movies. It's one of those movies, Will, where people tell you're supposed to like it, and that's just automatic.
Oh,
for
it's
you.
good, man. I disagree. The opening scene, I love how it parallels the original. Now they named this movie Scream again because that's what they do now. So instead of Scream
Yeah,
5, it's just
I don't
Scream.
like that. Honestly, that's obnoxious.
Yeah,
Because
we all
now
know.
you literally have to say, so like to say the title of this movie to correctly, you have to say Scream 2022, which
2022.
literally takes longer to say than Scream 5. Like just from a syllable situation, I feel like we should stick with the numbers in
It
order.
should have been like the final Scream or something like that. They
It's
should-
not the final Scream, though,
won't.
dude. That's the same mistake they made with Saw. They're definitely making another Scream movie at some point.
I think the opening scene was really good. I think the fact that they were able to make it terrifying in 2022 was kind of cool. The fact that they used the text message, they used the live video, and it was still suspenseful. They used the locks on the door. Obviously, she had the app on her phone, and it's clicking on and clicking off, clicking on and clicking off. I think that opening scene is probably the best version of what you could do modernly. Go ahead, Will.
The best part of that entire scene was when the landline's ringing and she walks up to it confused faced and then just clicks the little, because she didn't know, she never uses that thing. So she had to like really study it, and I don't know, it's just a little thing that I enjoyed so much.
Yeah, and at first I didn't care much for her as a character. I was just like, okay, she's playing into it hook, line, and sinker. Would you really stay on the phone with somebody that long who's calling to talk to your mother? But I was just like, it's a movie, go along with it. And the attack was brutal. The fact that he stabs her through the hand and you see it.
that was great.
And I thought she was done for. So whenever she was still alive, I was like, oh, that's a cool little twist. Right on. You've actually let your opening character survive and become a major part of the story. I thought that was a really cool twist. I thought that was nice. As for the rest of the movie, it was hot fucking garbage. I could not stand this movie. Jay goes, what'd you think? And I turned to him and I said, hot garbage. Because for me,
Oh,
none
you're
of
being
it.
serious.
Yeah, none of it worked for me. It did not click for me for some reason. I've got a litany of notes on why it doesn't work. But the biggest thing is the characters, the legacy characters, bringing them back in. they are pointless, excluding Dewey. Dewey was awesome, but Sydney really does nothing. She brings nothing character-wise, and Gil Weathers looks like a fucking muppet. I don't even know what's going on.
It
with her.
was
you
hard
age
to look
shaming
at
her?
Courtney Cox.
I apologize. Gil Weathers, no.
I'm not age shaming, but I will plastic surgery choice shame her.
It's
'cause-
hard to emote through that much Botox. That's why I'm like, is she sad that he's dead? What's going on? But realistically, they just don't have anything to do. The characters, they're just there. And that kind of bothered me. Did you guys feel that they had a point in being in this story, or did it feel
course.
tacked on?
Of course, it's her story.
The point was to pass the torch.
Yeah, and Dewey had to die.
Yes.
Dewey had to die so that Sydney would come to Woodsboro.
That's a
yeah,
t-shirt.
that was
Dewey
the
had to
only
die.
reason she came.
But it was
And it was
it's a
wonderful.
great reason to come. Yeah,
100%.
I wish
then-
they gave him more, though, because David Arquette was really good in this movie.
but his death was so perfect because like that death he gave, like that's like the same kind of death that like. Have y'all seen Dune?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Have you seen the new Dune? Well, okay, I won't spoil that then. But like, that's
Spoilers
a
for
hero's
everything.
death. That's a massive hero's death he did. I thought that was just like it's like he it's almost like he knows that he's probably not coming back from it. It gave me chills to watch.
I like that Ghostface says it was an honor. And I thought that was
Yeah.
kind of a cool little.
That
add-on
was
to it.
cool, honestly.
Yeah, to be like, I got to kill this legacy character. But I just wish they would have given more. There was that funny little moment where the guy makes fun of him for something. He's like, "You
He's
must
like,
be the
"That
killer."
would
'cause
cut.
that
Oh,
would cut deep.
yeah. That
Me and
was
Jay both were laughing at that hysterically. I mean,
obnoxiously long time. Like we probably should have shut up about 10 seconds earlier.
But for me, other than Dewey, I don't feel like the other characters belong there. They feel like completely different characters. And I get it, they're supposed to move in the torch, but the lead character Sam is boring. I get it, she's Billy Loomis's daughter, but like, and she's schizophrenic or something like that. I did.
She's got a killer boyfriend, dude.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she does have a killer boyfriend. Very nice. But seeing Billy Loomis, I thought was cool as shit. Did that shock anyone else whenever he popped up in the mirror for the first time?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and he looked like that was some good digital de-aging. He looked really, really, really good. But it also makes Billy Loomis into kind of an anti-hero by the end of it because he points at the knife and he's like, "Get him." That
Almost
part was kind
Dexter,
of confusing.
almost like Dexter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely Dexter vibes going on. I love it and I hate it because, like I said, I don't like the idea of making him an anti-hero. He was a villain. He was one of the
Straight
best
villain,
villains.
yeah.
So that was kind of, and also I in my recommends later, you're gonna see that I picked the other two fifth movies that do the same thing where they do the Offspring. So
Didn't they kind of like start that though? I can't. It was either the third or the second, where it was someone else who showed him all the tapes and like convinced him to go crazy. I think it was the third one. Who was the killer in the third one?
oh,
The
her brother,
director, the
her
director
brother,
guy.
yeah, Roman,
Or her half
something.
brother.
Yeah.
Because he pushed Billy to become the original Ghostface.
Real quick, I want to give shout outs to people watching Rap says bonus cast freaking sweet. Foreskin Awakens. I did not make that name up. That is real. It says, I was really disappointed. I didn't hate it, but my least favorite of the series. Gail looks like Pepe
wow.
the Frog. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's my least favorite. 4 is, and we'll give our ranks later. But
Wait, you'd rank 4 less than 3?
I
Dude,
like,
oh my-
yeah, 100%.
Okay, no,
yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
That's, opinions
Yeah.
are great.
I just think it's kind of a cliche to bring in kind of the daughter of the killer or the daughter of the main villain, or it happens a lot when you get this far into a series. So I don't know.
That's kind of what Scream does, though. It's always some sort of.
The connection. You're
Yeah,
right.
they've done that every single. That's every single.
It's
movie
not like
it's
they're
been.
ripping off something else. Like that is what Scream is.
My question is, why didn't Jackie Connor know that? I don't think that's her name, but from the second movie, the killer from the second movie,
Jackie O'Connell.
Yeah. Why didn't she realize that she had a granddaughter? That part I was kind of like. And was the girl that he got pregnant the girl he was hitting on at the VHS store in the first movie? I kind of thought that was cool that they had.
Good take, good pull.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Really good pull.
Evidently, because remember, like Randy says, he goes, he's been out of prison for 2 days and he's already hitting on other women. What's going on? So, also, Foreskin Awakens says the Meeks look nothing like Randy. That's what I said earlier. They're very, very attractive, and he
It's
is
because you,
not.
it's
What
'cause
about
you
the
didn't meet
dad?
her dad. You didn't meet her husband or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
They're mixed kids.
Did anyone else feel like Stu was gonna make a comeback? Like they were kind of,
Wasted.
yeah.
I feel like it's still
opportunity.
open there though, and that's one of the things I was going to bring up if we were talking sequels. Is I feel like that's a big reason that there's still a big door open for a sequel to occur.
That's an easy, he lived and he's been in some sort of mental institute or something.
Right.
That's an easy.
100%.
Have y'all
Why
seen
fit-
those
why fit it
pictures?
into this? There's enough of that.
Have you seen those mock-up pictures where he looks like Jigsaw from The Punisher?
No,
that's
I haven't
cool.
seen it. That sounds
Yeah,
great,
that
though.
was a hot rumor going around that you're going to see him, and then when that girl goes, but who's playing Stu? And I was like,
I was
I
really
don't know
hoping
anybody-
that was the killer, that he was going to come back, like you said, mental institute or whatnot. He wasn't killed by the TV. And then we were going to see that he orchestrated all this. And I really thought they were heavily implying that's what was going to happen. So
I would be upset if that happened.
No,
Stu
that
is
wouldn't work
not
for
the
you?
orchestrator. Stu is
Stu is
a
like the
follower,
weak-minded
crazy
or
man,
just straight up crazy,
He is not the
easily
Jigsaw,
manipulated.
so-
I agree. No. I'm saying he looks like Jigsaw from The Punisher,
No,
like
I know.
just all deformed. But I agree with y'all. He's not the mastermind. But you had 25 years to kind of figure
To
shit
stew
out.
about it.
Yeah, just stew about it. There we go.
very nice.
Mm.
It would
I'm
probably
outta
make
here,
you want to
guys.
scream too.
That's the high note of the podcast. We should just call it. I think it'd be really interesting to see maybe Sam, eventually goes to seek some help for this vision of her dad that she is seeing all the time, and then runs into old friend Stu in like a mental facility getting help.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting way
Oh,
to tie
that's-
him into a future story.
That's totally a 6. That's totally.
I also read
part of
that
a 6.
I don't know if this is true. It could just be a rumor, but Lillard played the flamethrower ghost face.
Yes, which is totally awesome.
Oh, that's dope.
They just put him in the costume.
I felt like there were too many emotional scenes too, where characters were just like me and Jay said, that was a long movie. And Jay said it was an hour and 30 minutes. I was like, no way, that was an hour and 30 minutes.
That's
Because
so
the
funny.
entirety of the end of the first act and beginning of the second act is just the sisters hugging and long conversations about how much they love each other and regret each. Like, I was just like, come on, let's get on with the fucking movie. Like, I need to see Ghostface because he disappears for like 40 minutes of the movie.
I don't want to care about people. I just want to watch them die.
No, pork in the house. Just let everyone know.
Dude,
No,
that's so funny because I had the exact opposite. Like once we got into the house and like I felt things were wrapping up, I was literally upset. I was like, I want more.
I'm
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of in
I
the
know
same
this
boat,
is
honestly.
ending,
It felt
yeah.
like a really fast movie to me. Like
Yeah.
I was
really.
Very
yeah,
fast.
I felt like if anything, there was so many characters. Like some of them, I don't remember who made the point. Maybe it was you, Ducky. But I think that's the reason that like some of the legacy characters suffered in this one is because they didn't really get a lot of screen time to do much. They really almost were in a cameo role until the very end.
That was on purpose too. I mean, like this, like Scream 4, like I think was the movie was their final movie, and that's what I think that I really liked. I think that was a big teaser movie where they're kind of teasing you a bunch of new people, but at the same time, it really was. Sidney Prescott was all over that movie. This one, she's running in Chicago with her kids, but I think I'm almost sure she's done.
She's
Almost
OP
sure she's
too.
done.
Like she's so OP in this movie. She's just like, we're going in, we're getting them. I can't put my.
I
kids to
carry
bed.
tracking devices with me just offhand in case I need to follow somebody in high school that's not cooperating with me.
Yeah,
I
it's-
don't know, 25 years of getting murdered and your friends all stabbed.
gonna be
I think I'd have
paranoid.
tracking and shit like
All
that.
right, I guess maybe it
It's
is the
Sidney
future.
fucking
It's not
Prescott.
that I could probably order some tracking devices on Amazon like right now if I really wanted to.
For me, another thing was what really did work is in the second act, the whole scene with Wes in the house with his mother, who was the deputy or the sheriff or whatever. That worked. That built tension, and I love the way the house was built with the open. I love the way the house was built with the open floor plan. But it worked because he opened the closet door and then you think Ghostface is going to be there, and the music rises up, and it's suspenseful. He opens the fridge, same thing. You're like, Ghostface is going to be there. So when Ghostface finally showed up, you were like, fuck yeah, there he is. And that made me so happy because I was like, this is suspense done right. And that's what I wanted more of. Like the first scene had that, and this scene had it, but the rest of the movie for me tonally was all over the place.
I was gonna say I felt like that scene tied hand in hand with the basement scene at the house party with the refrigerator there. I thought that was also really well done, where they kept calling each other out about breaking the rules, even when she's like, or at the end he's like, "Will you go with me?" And she's like, "No, but you were right to ask."
Yeah, and the other thing is, he goes to if he would have opened that door, Wes would have opened that door, he would have saw the dead body. And Foreskin just brought that up. Wish Wes had seen his mom dead first, just to see his reaction. The movie makes you think he's going to open that door, and it's done well. It really is.
Yeah.
And that basement scene, that's when I turned to Jay and I said, "Is that the same house from the first movie?" And I was like, "Holy shit, it is!" I was like, "This is really cool that they brought that back." And that house is actually an Airbnb now. You can actually go stay there if you want to.
Oh, that's actually cool as
Pretty
hell.
It's a gorgeous house.
Yeah,
That's probably like a $4 million house right now.
Yeah, it's a beautiful
Okay.
house.
I've told you a couple times that I overall really like this movie, but I have one major complaint, and this scene is actually where it first pops up. Okay, the Judy is her name, Sheriff Judy now, right? Is that right? Okay. Either way, when the sheriff dies and Wes is, in the shower and doing that whole thing, I love that scene. I agree with you 100%. The whole kitchen sequence was great, where you kept thinking he's going to be there. But this was the point in the movie where I had the first thought of like, okay, I know the cops in these films are purposely bad, but like, this is the sheriff. Like, the sheriff is calling for the cops to like, get to her house, emergency 911. We never see cops show up ever. Like, never once in this movie do we see other cops show up. They are at the hospital, and then they disappear from their post conveniently. But like, even at the house party at the end, we never get the sequence where there's all the sirens and lights coming up, which we did get in the other Scream movies, even if it took an absurd amount of time. And that just drove me up the wall, because it's like, at least have the cops getting there ridiculously late. But it's as if cops no longer exist in this universe.
But you know what? After they got there, it was the big powwow. Like everyone had to go and check out what was going on, because it is a small town, and when these murders happen, obviously that's big news. You want to be part of it, and so having the deputy or whoever he was leave the scene from the hospital, I was like, oh, that's cool. That probably would happen. You know what I mean?
That's very similar to 4, when they, are the two cops that are on post get killed by Ghostface in a really stupid way. Again, I can accept that cops are bad at their job, but the fact that they just like seem to like simply disappear as if they like weren't coded into the matrix at this point, that part like really just like, it stood out to me that it was noticeable that if the sheriff of a small town gets murdered, there is going to be people arriving like hella fast.
Yeah. I want to talk about the gore real quick. We kind of touched upon it before, but this movie brings the bloodshed like crazy. Whether it be, like I said, the knife through the hand, the quick stab for the redneck guy, the Vince character, who was Stu's nephew, I guess. I don't know. I read that online. I didn't catch that in the movie. But, like, I thought that was really interesting how Ghostface just gave him a quick, like, and then that was it. I was like, oh, very nice. And then there's just stabbing. Like,
the neck stab.
Yeah.
The one on the side.
The practical effect neck stab.
For the first time since the first movie, you feel every knife slash in this movie. I don't know if it's the sound effects with it. I don't know if it's how visceral it is, but I was like, holy shit. That is no joke to be stabbed. Like, it was terrifying, and I was there all the way. I thought it was great.
Yeah. I got a question. Was Scream probably like the one franchise with like the most? I mean, I guess maybe them and Nightmare on Elm Street are probably the two franchises with like the most kills with the same weapon. If you really think about it.
That's a cool point, because in some of the other slashers, they're always changing it up with whatever they find, but this is like the signature.
Did anyone? Foreskin brings up, and I thought one of the legacy characters would die in it. He's talking about he thought there would be a house fire at the end. But did you guys expect one of the legacy characters to be killed? I know Jay had it spoiled for him by an article online, right? Didn't you?
Yeah, just clipped on the right article, and like it literally goes, uh, it goes David Arquette on his shocking death, and I'm like,
Oh,
That's just a bad lie.
that
That's a bad
sucks.
lie.
and I don't know if you guys know this or not, but David Arquette's not exactly swimming in movies right now. So when it's a shocking death of David Arquette, I'm not picturing Buffy the Vampire Slayer the movie. I'm pretty sure it's Dewey.
How about you, Will?
And
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I didn't like the fact that I'll tell you a problem I really did have with Gail, since you referred to him as her best friend. That felt like such a line that like Courtney Cox made them put in because of their actual relationship. You killed my favorite guy. It's just you could have been like, you killed the love of my life. If she'd have said that, I would have been like, you killed the love of my life. That would have been pretty badass. Especially when you think about how, she gave him that huge guilt trip about how he was the one who actually ended the relationship. It wasn't even her who did it. And I thought that was a wasted opportunity to kind of like seal, like that character, like her vengeance for his death. I think it could have been a little this. Like for the most part, if I were to like score this movie like on 100, I'd probably give like an 80%. But I think like just the only things I would fix are just a few wasted opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
That's
let's talk about the killers. Big spoilers here. It's the boyfriend. It's always the boyfriend. We got to go back to the original movie. And then,
I do love that Dewey literally called that in like the first, like one of his first lines of dialogue was essentially, "You're the killer."
You're the killer. Right there. Boom. And he meant it too. He was like, "You're the
Yeah.
killer." Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he had to be. And Jack Ryan's really good in this movie. Like really good. I imagine Jack Ryan's gonna have a huge fucking career because between this and The Boys, you can just see the talent oozing from him. I mean, obviously.
I felt the same way about the youngest daughter, the original one that gets attacked at the very beginning. She seems like, and she's also, they just happened to play a trailer that I was excited about that I went back and watched and realized she's going to be in that new movie coming up, X, that new horror movie that's coming out. So I thought the acting overall in this was really good, but yes, the boyfriend and the original girl who got stabbed in the hand, I thought were the standout performances.
Absolutely. The other killer being Amber because she lived in the house.
Yeah.
I was like, what? I was like, all right, I guess that's easy enough. She's the
It
underling.
did get to a point where there's like, oh, there's literally no one else it could be, like
Yeah.
from an accessibility standpoint.
Well, it was so weird because she all of a sudden was like super crazy. Like she was like, and off the wall bonkers. And I was like, I get it. Maybe she's adrenaline rushing or something like that. And the killers always act a little bit. And I guess she was supposed to be Stu-like. And Matthew Lillard played it up to the nines, But I did like one line when she shot the girl, brain buster, and then she goes, now starts act 3 or however she said it. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. I was like, right on. I dig that. The reveal of the killers, did you guys feel satisfied with that? Will, did you feel satisfied with their motives?
I did. It was a well-placed attack onto the crazy fanboys of the world that, have to own everything that they watched as a child and feels like that, they're the only ones who can possibly come up with a good story, because it's theirs, because they watched it, because they have a memory of it as a child. And I think it was a good way to kind of just hear some psychos who want to bash on the new stabs.
Stab bait
They've
looks awesome.
allegedly never even seen. I did like that part, actually.
Oh, that's when I knew it. I caught it at the beginning when they had that weird
honestly.
look. When they had that weird look in the hospital room where they're like, oh, they know each other. What the fuck is going on? So the whole time I'm sitting there going like, I don't believe. But they did a good job of misdirecting to everyone. They gave everyone just a little bit of sinisterness, and especially with the characters joking like about like their friend being in the hospital. Like, well, maybe she'll die. I was like, as morbid as that is,
casual.
that's a real conversation though. Like people.
That's
talk
more to
like
real
that.
life with my friends for sure. Than it is, to not see it.
Yeah, people just talk like that, and I thought that was pretty good. Foreskin said Amber reveal happened so quickly I didn't have a chance to be shocked. Yeah, but I think that's the fun of it is that she's just like, I'm the killer, bitch, and then blows her away. I thought that was really cool. As for motives, I didn't get that, Will. I appreciate you breaking it down for me because I'm stupid. I did. It was convoluted for me. I was like, why is he doing this again? Like, how about you, Jay? Did it work for you? His motives and the killer?
Actually, I believe his motives worked for me more than hers did. It almost felt like she was like almost possessed by the spirit of the house, and that's what got her going.
I like that.
But that's obviously a different.
But it was
take
the
altogether.
fan.
That's a very elevated horror take. Maybe that's what part 6 will be about.
No,
But his motive, the toxic fanboy, oh my god, that is.
But she was like right along with that because they had met through the fan forums. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It was a very short bit where they kind of explained all that, but they hooked up based on these forums, and that's how they found each other.
I think, and I guess I'll say this: I think his acting was just a little bit better for me
Yeah,
too.
for sure. Yeah.
And so, I mean, you know, I think his acting pedigree is, you know, pretty decent as well with his parents, you know, being Meg Ryan and Dennis Quaid. So,
Yeah.
I think, you know, maybe that had something to do with it. But yeah, I loved like how like crazy he got towards the end, like how like you're ruining everything for me. And when you talk about the insane fanboy, I was like, yes, this is the guy we laugh at. This is another movie that's for kids. This is a movie for teenagers. This is not a movie for us. Like,
Yeah,
it's okay.
But you know what? I empathize with them and being the crazy fanboy because I am a crazy fanboy myself. So I kind of get that now that you pointed that out, Will. I was like, holy shit, that is a lot better than I originally thought it was because I was confused on what his motives were. But now
All
that
right,
you
well, let's
guys
hit
say
all
that-
your other notes. Why else did you like?
Oh, no. I'm throwing them away now. Miles, how about you? Did the reveal work? Did you like the killers?
Yeah, I did. I did find that I kind of predicted it early on as well, but I didn't think that really took away from the reveal. And very much what Will said, I think they even had a pretty big like Ryan Johnson reference, like kind of, you know, alluding to the idea that, you know, how many people are upset with him about Star Wars and whatnot. But it was even part 8, Stab 8 is the one that he directed. So yeah, there's definitely some weight to that, and that 100% worked for me. I agree across the board that his acting and motives were definitely stronger than hers were, and I think that is probably those things are connected because you're right, Will. They did meet on the message boards, but he felt like he was actually like crazy enough to kill some people, and she just seemed like she's like, well, there's this guy that I kind of agree with a little bit online, and I guess we should stab some people now.
and this is it's the perfect motive for more sequels to be like, you know what, fuck you, like we're making a reboot essentially. And this is how we're gonna do it, by making fun of literally you know.
Pointing the finger at the audience. I love her death scene too, because Amber, when she gets le flambéed, and then the final scare is her coming out half fucking burnt to death.
It's like Chucky, dude, in the original Child's Play is what it reminded me of.
There was a little behind the scenes thing I saw. They literally casted Freddy Krueger's ear for the side of her head.
Very
I love that
like
so much.
If you see the close up, it looks exactly like a Freddy ear.
That's awesome. Well, guys, is there anything else about the movie you wanted to talk about? Anything specific?
Are we not gonna talk about the Randy scene, like the best meta scene
Nope.
of the entire movie?
Turn around, Ducky.
That girl, I
Turn
I watched her
around.
recently. She's on Yellow Jackets, and she's amazing in Yellow
Oh,
Jackets.
I've heard that
And
show
y'all
is
are-
really good.
It's
Y'all are talking
phenomenal.
about oozing talent. Like, that girl is going places. She
Yeah.
was so good. And just the fact that she caught herself in her own stupidity and then was like, oh shit, and then there he is. You know what I mean? It was
And like
so
I said,
good.
I like the fact that she survives. Both of them survive because, like I said, they just ooze charisma in this movie. You want them to make it, and I thought that was pretty cool. Anything else? No.
Got some funny facts, Jay. Funny facts.
What you got, Jay? Funny facts. This is a new segment. What do you got?
Their theme song?
I don't have. I got a couple of them. For one, when you first meet Dewey, did you notice Tatum's ashes on his mantle?
Yeah, I did not see that. I read that later.
Yeah,
but-
same.
That was pretty cool. And the only other funny fact is that this is the only movie in the franchise not directed by Wes Craven.
Yeah. May he
That's
rest
less
in
fun.
peace.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie, Jay.
Thank you. for
They're
They're
bringing
not
it
all
down.
golden.
Let's rank them, guys. Let's rank what you think your movies are in order. I can go first. I think 1, 3, 2, 5, 4. And I know that's shocking, but I like 3 because of how meta and cheesy it is. I like being on the movie set. As somebody who's always aspired to be a director of some sort, I just love filmmaking stuff. So movies about filmmaking make me happy. So that's why
Okay.
3 goes second. What you got, Miles? What's your order?
I would probably have to. I've only seen Scream 5 once, so I want to caveat that it might change whenever I actually have a chance to review it. But I would definitely at this point go 1, 4,
Damn.
5, 2, 3.
Damn. That's shocking. The 4 is just so bad.
I love the fourth movie. Like I think it's great.
Jay, what you got? What's your order?
My order is also different. My favorite's 2. And I think part of the reason 2 is my favorite is because it's the only movie I saw as a midnight movie. So I've always had that experience. And with the beginning of the movie starting off, also
that's
as
In
a
the
midnight
theater,
movie.
that's got to be
yeah.
shocking. Yeah.
So like you think about it, that's meta. But also I think I just really got more invested in the second one because it's just a little more fleshed out. I just think it's just, to me, it's one of the best sequels of all time for a horror movie personally. But yeah, I'd go 2, 1, 4, 5, 3. 3 being dead last.
Damn. Will, what you got? What's your order?
Well, I want to elaborate. My scale, let's say this is the top and this is the bottom. Like, this is where my last one's going to go, right in the middle. So, but it would definitely be 1 and then 5. And 2, I agree with everything Jay just said. And then, yeah, maybe 4, 3.
Damn.
But they're like right next to each other and they're still great. And I will still watch them. I have no problem. I'm the Mikey of horror movies. Like, I like it. No matter what, I like it. Unless it's They Live. I hate that movie.
Oh wow. Well, I think like so many other franchises, this is one that I usually just watch it in. Like if I'm gonna watch one of them, I'm gonna watch all of them. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
why
watch the whole fucking, like same with the Freddy movies most of the time. Even I watch till they're corny and then I keep watching.
Foreskin said 1, 2, 4, 3, 5. So that is the order, and I'm with you
Wow.
100%. 5 is better than 4. But maybe it'll grow on me. Like I said, I was stupid and didn't realize what the point of the story was. So who knows? All right, guys, let's get in some recommendations. And the reason we're going to recommend these, they are the 5th entries in the series, and they also feature offspring. So the first one will be,
It's very specific.
yes, I know, but I found 2. Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child. So, yes, not the greatest out of the series, which Jay will debate, because isn't this your favorite, Jay?
No, my favorite is 4.
Yeah.
I can brag that I actually did see Nightmare on Elm Street 5 in the theater with my mom in 1989, and we were the only 2 in the theater, and I got so scared I got up like I think 20 times. But yeah, that's a fun one.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. It's cinematography wise, I really like it. Oh yeah, I don't know. I dig this movie, and
It's the most
weird.
art house of all the
Yeah.
the entire franchise. It's by far the most art house.
and it's got
Isn't
some.
everyone's favorite 4 though? Like, because I feel like
I,
that's
actually,
too.
3 is my
Three.
favorite. 4 is,
Three.
but 3 and 4 are
What am I
almost like
mixing up?
connected.
What are the subtitles of these? I'm mixing them up.
Dream
Dream
Warriors
Warriors.
and then the Dream Master.
Yeah, Dream Masters 4, Dream Warriors is 3. So Dream Warriors is considered usually the best of the series. It was written by Frank Darabont, and he kills it. And as a movie, they're in the mental ward, and Nancy comes back, and it's just a killer movie.
Super
I put
fun.
yeah.
So fun.
The second one will be recommending Seed of Chucky. Not a perfect movie in any sense, but a fun, campy fest. And it's just really interesting. And plants the seeds, pun intended, for the TV series being so LGBTQ friendly. And that's what's really cool about it, having the character that is non-binary, kind of the switch character, and the son/daughter, or the non-binary, like I said. It's just an interesting, cheesy schlock of a movie, and I love all the Chucky's Child Play movies. They're just so much fun. Do you guys have any recommendations for movies that are prequels,
The 5th in the
requels?
series with
Yeah.
the
And feature offspring.
I can only find
You
2. I
should've
kept
told us this
looking.
ahead of time.
I kept looking, but just any recommendations that go along with kind of the Scream feeling.
I want you
or
to
the
name
sequel.
one other 5th in the series with an offspring.
I tried. I looked and I looked
Puppet
and I
Master,
looked.
maybe?
Yeah, no, I looked, man.
Children of the Corn 6 has an offspring, but that's
not
not a 5.
So
Yeah.
close.
We'll count it though. We'll count
That
it. Do
one
you
little
recommend
eye
it? Do
just
you recommend
screwed
it?
all up.
Children of the Corn 6, I actually would recommend. It is called Isaac's Revenge. So it is Danzy's Revenge.
He's gonna be back on the cast next week, tomorrow, just destroying us.
What do y'all?
Is he going to be there tomorrow?
No, he's not coming in tomorrow. Pumpkinhead is tomorrow. Tomorrow is Jay's birthday choice, so we were watching.
Oh, hell yeah. I
Pumpkinhead.
watched that last night and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yes, I have not
Spoiler
watched
alert.
it yet, so I'm excited. Well, guys, any recommendations at all? Anyone have anything or no? It's all good. All right. Well, Miles, tell them where you can find you on the internet.
Hey, you can follow me everywhere at Mr. Most Days Off, and you can check out my Simpsons podcast, the Best Darn Diddler Review Show. And actually, I'm pretty stoked because I just confirmed it today. I'm going to be talking with the current showrunner, Al Jean,
Oh, you kidding me?
on Wednesday.
Are you kidding me, dude?
It's going to be a good Wednesday.
Are you kidding me? That's
Badass.
insane,
I'm
Miles.
so excited, man.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine. How did you get that? Oh, we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it for
That's
sure.
insane. Congratulations. That is huge.
Thank you.
You can find us on the internet at wearepodcast.podbean.com, where you can find all the podcasts. You can join our social media at /wearepodcast on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. And finally, you can find us every Monday for Camp/Horrorcast, where we talk horror movies from the past, live at 8 p.m. Central Time on Twitch and everywhere else. Guys, thank you so much for being here for this horror highlight. This has been fun. Will, thank you for joining us. Miles, Jay, great times. Don't go see Scream 5. It sucks. I think universally we all said that. And thank you for anyone who jumped in and watched the stream. We appreciate you. We will see you tomorrow night. With that said, keep horror in your heart. And I'm going to cut the feed. Guys, that was awesome. All right, cutting the feed if I remember how to.